Moscow winters are not kind, and January of 1996 was one of the coldest anyone could remember. The snow was knee-deep. The wind sliced through your coat like it wasn't there. And the metro system, well, it was as tired as the people using it. Ivan Sokolov, a 19-year-old literature student, had just missed his last train home. He'd been at the university library too long, studying for an exam he was pretty sure he was going to fail anyway. By the time he made it to Kovrina station, the platforms were nearly empty. It was close to midnight. Everything felt still. Too still. He sat on a bench, rubbing his hands together, watching his breath fog the air. That's when he saw the janitor, an old man in a gray uniform, sweeping the floor like it mattered, like anyone would notice dust in a freezing, forgotten metro station. Ivan asked if there were any other trains running. The janitor didn't look up. "If you're desperate," he said, "there's another platform." Ivan blinked. "What do you mean? Like a night train?" "Platform 13. That's not on the map. It's not for everyone." There was a pause. "But if you go, don't talk to the man." Ivan, naturally, thought the guy was messing with him. But boredom and cold do weird things to your judgment. He got up, followed a service corridor past a flickering light, then down a narrow stairwell with no signs. At the bottom was a long, dark platform. No one there. No train schedule, no announcements, and yet the rails hummed. Platform 13. It didn't look abandoned, just unused, like it was waiting. The air was colder here. So cold, his breath felt sharp in his lungs. Then, without warning, a train pulled in. Not loudly, not with screeching brakes, just arrived. The doors slid open. The cars inside were completely empty, except one figure near the very end of the train. A man in a long black coat, standing, still, facing forward. Ivan squinted. He couldn't make out his face. The man wasn't moving, not looking at him, just waiting. The train didn't make a sound. No announcer, no conductor, no signs. Just silence. Ivan stepped forward, 1 foot over the yellow line, then stopped. The janitor's voice echoed in his mind. "Don't talk to the man." But Ivan didn't ask him anything. He just stepped in. The doors slid shut behind him. No beeping, no warning, just silence. The train moved, but Ivan couldn't feel it. There was no jolt, no screech of metal. It was like the world outside had let go. He walked down the aisle slowly, passing empty rows of cold plastic seats. The air inside felt colder than it did outside. That strange kind of cold that gets into your bones, not from wind, but from something missing. There were no posters on the walls, no route map. The windows showed only blackness. Not tunnels, not lights, just nothing. Ivan turned to check behind him and nearly jumped. The man in the black coat was now in the same car, several rows back, still not facing him, still not moving, just waiting. Ivan picked up his pace and moved to the next car. He sat down near the front and tried to calm himself. Maybe this was some kind of old loop. Maybe the guy was just a creepy commuter. Maybe this was all technically normal. Then the lights flickered, just for a second. And when they came back on, the man in the black coat was sitting across from him. Still. Silent. Ivan's voice broke when he finally spoke. "What is this place? Where are we going?" The man didn't move, didn't blink. Then, just as the train hummed through a curve, he whispered, We all took the wrong train. Now we wait for someone to take our place. Ivan didn't understand. Not really. But in that moment, it all clicked in a way that made his stomach twist. The names, the empty seats, the stillness. They weren't passengers. They were placeholders. Every one of them had gotten on thinking it was just another train. And now, they stayed until someone new came along. He tried again to break the window. This time, it cracked. He pulled at the edge. Cold air rushed in, slicing through his hands. Outside wasn't Moscow. It wasn't even Russia. It was nowhere. Just snow. Endless white snow. No tracks. No sky. Just cold. Then something strange happened. The train slowed for the first time. Not much, but just enough. Outside there was a flickering light. A platform. Faint. Not marked. And standing there, a new face. A young man in a hoodie and backpack, staring at the train like he wasn't sure it was real. Ivan felt something inside him shift. The man in the black coat stood up and whispered, "It's your turn." Years later, a construction crew came to renovate Kovrina station, now long abandoned. A junior worker found an old staircase sealed off with rusted chains. At the bottom, buried in dust and cold, was a forgotten sign, Platform 13. And scratched into the wall, barely visible under the ice, was Ivan Sokolov, 1996. Some trains never stop. Some names never finish carving. And some platforms were never meant to be found.